guys, I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop, and I'm in Hands-On Designs booth at Market, and this is Cathy, and she's gonna get to show us all her new stuff. And she has her own YouTube channel that I'm sure all of you are subscribed to. So let's talk about all your new releases.
Okay, well, thank you for coming and popping in to visit with us. We've got 7 new releases for Market. We've got 3 new series. The first is our Four Seasons Folk series. We've got spring available now. It's finished on this really awesome board by Chantal, so you just need one board, switch out the seasons. It's got some specialty stitches to it, but it's also Ada friendly. We talked about that. So everything has been picked. You can do on either linen or Ada. Uses a little bit of rickrack, some fun fabrics, some of your fun quilting fabrics. You recognized a couple of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're going to start with spring, and then we'll have summer, and then autumn and winter will follow after that. So that's our first season. We also have the berries. Here, can I zoom in? So last year we came out with the strawberry, and then we did blueberry, and so I felt like I needed some more color, so we did blackberry. And there's finishing instructions, a pattern in the pattern, again Ada friendly, and then I did a little picture blog post on how I did that berry cap. So I kept it really simple. Berries have always kind of baffled me, and I thought, if I'm going to do this, I'm making it simple that everybody can do.
It's really cute because there's like X's on how you join it, and so that's really cute because it looks like, it's very doable.
Yeah, well, and it's actually just you can hand sew that or machine sew it. That's just to make it pretty, but it does kind of help secure it too. So
yeah.
So that's our berry, the berry garden, or the berry basket. And we have a couple of other new seasonal series over here. I'm going to actually talk about these first because I probably should have switched them, but this is Gather Round. Each chart has 3 rounds, and I've included words that kind of fit the season. So for spring, we've got Gather Wildflowers, and in each one, I've included the word round, and then also the quilt, I call it the barn quilt round, and then a little house, a little cottage. We've got the cottage for spring. These again are also Ada friendly. There is a little component that this is stitched over 1 on 32 count. I really wanted to get some good definition in the fonts, but I have also charted it for Ada within the chart, so easy for everybody to do. And then we've got the 3 other seasons. We have Gather Butterflies in the summer, Pumpkins in the fall, and then Pine Cones for the winter. So
and so when we get back from Market, this will be available for sale on our site, and then these will come months later. And what we're going to do is we're going to put on our site some coming soon images so you can click, and it'll have like the date of each season so that you'll be able to know when it's going to come.
Perfect. Okay, great. And these are also finished on the little Chantal. She called it the perpetual paddle. So these are on with magnets as well. So easy to just finish one set and then switch out your seasons with magnets.
And you painted it black.
I did, yeah. Just a simple spray paint with a clear coat on top of it.
Okay.
Very easy, not difficult at all. But the reason why now I'm going over here, because we did a lot of circle designs, and then also I realized the word I was using a lot was gather. I don't know why that word just kind of resonates with me. So as I was picking the words for each season, other words kind of were coming to mind, and I didn't know what to do with those words, and I didn't want to get rid of them, so they kind of morphed into another set of small designs. So I call this small gatherings. So they're very quick to stitch designs, an evening or 2 maybe. So first up is Gather Blessings, and then we'll gather memories, gather together, and then we'll gather some moments. So.
And are those custom frames, or is that from?
It's an Eastside Moldings frame. It is a custom size, although I'm pretty sure you could get away with a standard, like a 4x6, something like that. They're all the same size, so you could switch them out with each season. And again, I am planning a little tutorial to show how I do that.
Okay. And that'll be on her YouTube channel.
Yep. And then continuing with the round theme, I call this the series that's really not a series. I joked one time in a post, I said, I can't stop designing round. I don't know what it is, I just love it. So the classic haunt, you probably recognize, that came out actually last year. And I just like it so much, so I started designing more. Kind of a series, yes, more will come, but I didn't want to be locked into, it's got to be the same fabric or it's got to have words. But well, you know me, I like words anyway. So we've got Liberty Pennies. This is on a slate linen with Weeks Dye Works. And I've got that cute little Just Another Button Company pin on the top of it. And then Gather at the Table is great for fall. They'll all be sort of seasonal. Again, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to do what I want to do.
And then you have the pin on the top of this one too.
And the way I finished mine, I did a twisted cord, and I actually did put like a hanger on the top out of the cord. So if you makes it versatile, if you want to hang it on a shelf, on a peg, or something like that, you can certainly do that. Or if you want to tuck it in like I did here, it just folds to the back and you don't even see it. The ribbons, if you get tired of the ribbon or they get a little worn,
you can just take it out.
Yep, they're just, all the ribbons are stuck in place with the pin. So I just think that pin's the perfect little embellishment on top.
Super good. I love her stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see, we actually, funny market story, we met on the side of the highway to pick up our pins.
Yeah.
The things you do for market.
Yeah, I saw that post.
And then we have one final, also in the round series. Again, like I said, I call them, I guess, like tuck-ins, because you can tuck it in a bowl or a shelf or something like that. But again, also hang. And this is Botanical Bee.
Super cute.
Yeah.
So what do you think, out of all of this, you think is going to be your bestseller?
I already know.
Okay.
It's the bee.
The bee, okay.
Everybody loves bees.
And then what is your favorite out of everything?
Honestly, it's a toss-up. I love the Gather Pine Cones. When I was designing this series, because I love designing for fall, I really thought it was going to be the fall one. And I do love it. But it's those teeny little pine cones on the design. I don't know why, the colors just spoke to me. And I guess the second one would be also then the winter. I don't know, maybe I'm in a winter mode right now. So
yeah, and
I don't want to be.
Do you want to talk about the little quilt row and the board and how you came up with that?
Yeah. Initially, I guess I should show this one. Initially, I taught this as a class. This is my version of a band sampler. I don't really do traditional samplers per se, but I did want to include an alphabet. I think these make great stitch-alongs because the way I've charted it, I've given instructions for each individual row, and you could just say, okay, this week we're going to do this. I've done a lot of embellished stitches on here. I like to work with wool felt or applique, so I tried to figure out how we could do that in cross-stitch and kind of give it that look. And then, of course, adding the specialty stitches. And with this one, I wanted a quilted row. So there, you see the little over-under stitch that makes it look like it's hand quilted. And then I worked with Chantal. The board is etched, and it's got like a little, kind of like an Ohio star motif to it. So you'll notice with each one, I did kind of follow each has the little applique look at the top, but each one has that little quilted row. And I just think it's a lot of fun color. This is DMC, so if you want to change up a shade, easy to do. The inspiration, I called it folk art. So it was a long winter. We watched a lot of documentaries. There was one, PBS was called Craft in America. Okay. And there was a whole section on like folk art, and it really kind of opened my eyes up. I always had a thought of what folk art was, but it's really so much more. And each culture kind of has its own sense of color and style. And that's kind of the road I sort of went down as I was working on these. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So there really usually is a story behind what I design. But as I said, I just, you'll see each one has an alphabet. Each one has some specialty stitches. Again, Ada friendly. So it's a teaching piece as well, which I like.
And the specialty stitches are like Smyrnas or kind of, I call them like fancy X's. They're just a little bit bigger than cross stitch, but if I can do them, I know they can do them because I was scared at first to do Smyrnas, and I do them and actually do them different than you do them. And people call me out, they're like, you're not doing the Smyrnas right. And I'm like, well, I'm just doing a different version of it. So you can always change it, like just make it your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And actually in one of them, I think I changed the direction of the Smyrnas as on purpose, so it gives a different texture. These samplers are all about color and texture and kind of what I call layered stitches, which is kind of, I don't know, just something I've been having a lot of fun exploring lately. So.
And I noticed a lot of your pieces are on dyed fabric. Do you want to talk about how do you pick if you're going to use a dyed fabric or a solid fabric or?
Well, with this one, a lot of times what you'll see is if I use a dyed fabric, especially something with a lot of detail, I did use DMC because there's a lot of action in the fabric. I didn't want as much action in the floss as well, because then I think, especially with an alphabet, it's hard to read an alphabet when it's got a lot of color movement in it. So, and this I think was really kind of a good neutral. I used a half yard on this, so you can actually see between the four of them, there's big color changes, and I fought it a little bit at first because I stitched all the models, but actually then I just kind of gave into it, and I really liked the way the colors played out. Now, that being said, on some of the smaller ones, I actually, for this one, for example, Gather at the Table, I had initially done it on a plain linen, and then this one is DMC, and I loved the fall palette. It's just kind of a different palette for fall, I think, and I didn't like it. It was too bright, and so I went to a softer hand-dyed that had a little more movement to it. So, but then there are times when this is Weeks Dye Works on a hand-dyed. Just kind of depends on the palette, I think. So, and then these are this is platinum with DMC. There are times when I do like to keep it so that a lot of stitchers like to change out colors. I know you do, and I think that's awesome. People ask me, "Oh, do you mind?" And I'm like,
"No,
it's hanging in your house, not mine."
Yeah.
So
yeah. Do you have anything else to tease, you have a lot of teases for the summer, but anything else for the rest of the year?
Oh, goodness.
Sometimes you do charity sew-alongs.
Oh, yeah. Well, we still have our Polar Plunge charity going on. Okay. That's with Special Olympics. We do plan, it's not finalized yet, but we are planning another charity for the fall.
Okay, good.
And so I'm real excited. I will be working with Lady Dot Creates on that one. So we've got that in the works, and I'm always going to, Polar Plunge, the narwhal one, will always remain a charity piece. That's the one that's downloadable on the website. To date, I think we've donated over $15,000 for that one, and I know Lois is getting ready to give me a check here, so I don't know what that is, so I'll take that even more. I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we'll definitely be doing more. I think the one in the fall, it'll be a different charity this time. So we like to kind of spread the love around.
What's your favorite part of Market, and how many years have you been coming?
Okay, Market. Well, I used to come a long time ago as a shop owner. It was a lot different then because we didn't have social media and all that good stuff. But I've been coming now for, is it 10 years with hands-on design, and then a few years before that. Probably this year, it's getting to see a lot of my friends, my designing friends and the shop owner friends that, we just don't see. I know that sounds really cliche-ish, but it's, people tell me a lot of times oh, have fun. And I'm like, well, it is work, but we have fun too.
Yeah, we do. And I will say, this room, when it starts, is going to be packed. Last year, Friday, we couldn't get in the room, and I kept walking by, and I was like, oh, Cathy's going to think that I'm ignoring her. And then Saturday, we kept walking by, and we couldn't get in. So we finally, I don't even think I saw you till Saturday late because her booth gets packed. And so that's one thing is it's so fun because everybody starts talking, but then you're oh, other people can't get in. So I always kind of feel bad.
Yeah, no need.
Yeah.
No, it's a good weekend. Yeah, our room is usually pretty crowded. But that's why we made sure we had good lighting this year. That's kind of our new improvement for this year is we have good lighting, and we just did some fun decorations and didn't bring a whole lot of extra because we've got a lot coming throughout the year. So, and we've got some other fun. There's some series that I haven't done in a while that you'll probably be seeing them coming up here soon. Well, I don't say soon, but maybe in about 6 or 7 months, something like that. And one series I know you did the laundry series.
I did.
So we've done the laundry series. We've gone to the kitchen.
Okay.
We're going to another room in the house, and no, it's not the bathroom. Somebody said, would you do a bath? I'm like, no.
That's funny.
So let's just get that out of the way right now. But so look for that here, in the coming months.
Can you tell everybody, how they can find you? I know you do a lot of videos that people will love. So talk a little bit about your channel, because I think you do offer something that a lot of people don't.
Sure. I have a pretty active Instagram and Facebook account. So I post pretty much every day. We do a lot in stories. So it's hands.on.design. We also, on Facebook, we have the Hands-On HOD Stitchers Facebook group. It's a wonderful group. It's pretty active. The gals are posting, stitchers are posting all the time in there, guys and gals. And they're just it's a fun, happy group. My husband and I also have a FlossTube channel. It's the Hands-On Design Stitcher. Sometimes we have happy hours. Sometimes we have, people keep asking if Bill got the raise, because he's been with me full time now for a year. So on our last FlossTube, I did an employee review, and everyone was like, did you get a raise? Not yet. But so the FlossTube, we also do a newsletter that you can sign up through our website. I try to send a couple out a month. I'm not always really good about that, but that's where you find out about activities, stitch-alongs. So we're pretty accessible. So
and she does a lot of finishing. And so like one of the main questions we get is, oh, I bought this pattern. How can I finish it? Right. You're going to go to her YouTube channel and she's going to show you. But also, if you go to that Facebook group she mentioned, another question we get a lot is, oh, I want to stitch that, but I want to change fabrics. And people in that group have tons of examples. And so you could search the group for the pattern you're looking for. And so that's one way, especially if you're a new stitcher and you want to change something. And you could even post in there and ask questions. And it's a great, positive.
Everybody's very helpful. I try and get into it at least once a day, usually kind of at the end of the day, and somebody will post a question and I'll be like, oh, I got to answer. And then invariably
somebody's already
answered it. Already jumped in, and I think that's wonderful. And we do, I've done a couple mystery stitch alongs. That's a lot of times where we announce it, and we'll do the progress, through that group. We have a couple other groups. They're not quite as active because they were based on old series that, like I said, are kind of making a comeback here soon. So sometimes I have to let a series rest a little bit and then kind of marinate on it and bring it back. So.
Well, we're excited to see what that series is, and thank you so much. And I'm so excited that I got to do the interview before the show started, because I actually got in here to see the stuff before. So I feel like that's my perk, is that I got to see everything before it started.
Well, and I get to practice everything on you. So.
That's funny. So make sure you subscribe to her YouTube channel, join her Facebook group, follow her on Instagram, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
Have a great market.